Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to E-Commerce Documentation. Got a very special guest for you today, Romer the Romer. He's in Barcelona, Spain, I think. Where are you?
Yeah, Barcelona, Spain at jiu-jitsu practice right now, so I apologize for the
Oh,
noise.
that's awesome, man.
But yeah,
I like it.
I'm here trying to learn Spanish and running my Amazon business and dancing, living the life.
Dude, thanks for doing this. Let's talk Amazon. Let's talk books. Let's talk about everything. Drop shipping. Where do you want to start, man?
Well, I don't know anything about drop shipping, so we should probably start with what I know about, which is books and online arbitrage.
All right, let's start with how did you get into this?
Yeah, so I sold my first book when I was in college, like 4 years ago. Not even four. Why did I say 4 years ago? This is like 2017. How many years ago was that?
Yeah.
5? It feels like 10, but it was only 5 years ago. Sold my first book, and I found out how to sell on Amazon. And college textbooks are some of the most lucrative items that you can sell on Amazon, especially if you're able to get them at cheap prices. You can get them for cheap prices at dollar store, at thrift stores. You can get them for cheap prices from college students. You can get them for free from libraries sometimes. And so that's how I started my business, was just buying books from all my classmates and selling them on Amazon. And that summer, I decided to start a landscaping company. Found out it was a ton of work. I was still selling books on Amazon at the same time, and I was like, "Holy shit, this thing is fucking real right here!" Like Amazon is actually real. Like I'm making sales as I'm cutting grass, and I didn't delegate anything in my landscaping business, but inadvertently, Amazon kind of forced me to delegate FBA. I wasn't prepping, packing the books. They were doing all of it for me. And I was like, this is a much better business than this. Now, there's landscaping companies that are great. And if I knew more about business back then, I could have scaled it, but I didn't know shit. And so like, I was just like, oh, this business is better. So I decided to grow that. And then long story short, I basically lived in my car for 3 months after that year. And I traveled the whole country, and I went to thrift stores, libraries, college campuses, and I just scanned the crap out of all these books. And that's really how I started my business. And I vlogged the whole thing on YouTube. I got a following, and that's how it started, man.
Your YouTube's awesome. Your YouTube channel, for people who aren't following you, Romer the Romer. Your Instagram's sick too. You're dropping big bombs that people think you'd have to pay to get a course to reveal what you're sharing for free. So let's break this down for people who don't know. One of the beauties of this business model is, you don't have to outlay cash until you know exactly what you're going to get for it on Amazon. So you can literally scan a book at a thrift store, right? And there's all different kinds of apps, right? But you can scan the book and see, oh my God, this is selling for $100. Whoever has the buy box, and you can buy it for $10, and then you can ship it to an FBA warehouse, and then they'll sell it for you. You're exactly right. It's hands off. Where you could, if they have 10 of them, if they have 100, you'll buy them all, and you'll make the delta. It's a beautiful business model. So I know you share a lot of this. Let's kind of let's help the viewers here. Where do you find these books? Is it mostly thrift stores? Are there private warehouses? Are there wholesale? Are you buying them by the truckload? What, like, people who want to get into this, just go to colleges and talk to people?
In 2019 was when I really started to scale my business. I went from, I think 2019 started, I did like 10,000 that first month. And I think that's what, I might have been less. It might have been like 5 or 6. But I ended 2019 at like 350,000 in sales. And at the time, I was primarily going to thrift stores and libraries. Like those were my two main sources. And then every once in a while, I would come across a liquidation deal. So like think like a college closing down or something like that. I would just go and scan all the books. So like anyone starting out, the best place to go is thrift stores in your city, used bookstores, and libraries. Go to those 3 places, scan the hell out of all the books, and then ship them to Amazon FBA. You can make easily, like if you actually put the time in, you can easily make $100K a year profit, which sounds ridiculous. Like it sounds like absolutely ridiculous, but nobody puts that type of work in. And if you truly put 8 hours a day, treat it like a job, like you can scale this business. I mean, you're buying dollar books and selling them for 20, 30, 40 plus. Like the math is just like, even if you do fuck up a lot, like it's hard to fuck up that much. Like you're not going to make that many bad
Right.
purchasing decisions, you
Right.
know? Oh, and by the way, we didn't really mention this, but I use an app that tells me whether or not I should sell the book. And so the app turns green. It's Scout IQ. It turns green if it's good. If it's good, that means it has fast sales velocity, a good sales rank, and healthy profit. And so like literally if you just use the app, it's like impossible to lose money. So I just used the app. I scanned thousands and thousands of. I wish I knew how many books I scanned, but I probably scanned it like 500,000 books or something like crazy like
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Yeah,
that's a lot of books.
yeah.
So I know you talk about this. Wanted to bring this up. What do you do if you scan a book that's restricted? You can't sell it on Amazon. You have to go through the hoops. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How can you
So
help? How does that work? What do people
yeah,
do?
that's what really took me off in 2019 was so I got up to like 20K sales just hustling, like just going hard. And so that's why like anybody who's out there who's like, you know, I'm scared about starting an Amazon business, start with books and you can get pretty good numbers, even if you just go on Saturdays, you know. But what I found was a lot of people can't sell textbooks, but I
What
could.
is it? What's it called? Is it a restricted ASIN?
Restricted, yeah, they call it restricted
It's
popular
okay.
textbooks. They call it popular textbooks, and they're restricted. And so, me posting all on social media, everybody knew me as like the book guy. And so I found out nobody else could sell textbooks. I could. No new accounts could sell textbooks. And so I said, everybody send me your books and I'll sell them for you at a 50-50 split. So I started this
That's very
business called
generous.
restrictedinventory.com. I pay 50% profit. People send me $100 textbooks. I sell them. We make $80 from Amazon. You get 40, I get 40. And yeah, that business just took off. There was an obvious demand for it in the market. People didn't know what to do with those books, and it served me well. And so we're 3 years in business now, and that's how I'm able to travel and do all this stuff. Like I'm not out here in Spain going to thrift stores anymore. I have a business that operates in America, and it's primarily restricted inventory.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about doing what you're doing, but they're not actually doing it. But you're
Yeah.
doing it, and you've gotten to that point. You know your shit. You've figured out this model. So this is great, man. So okay, what's happening in my? Do you live in Florida as your home base, or you just travel around? I know
It
you got the
was for
seller
2
conference.
years, but I traveled so much my second year in Florida once COVID stopped that I'm like, I'm just going to travel all the time now. So it's my goal to travel to every country in the world before I die. And so it's like, why not just travel all the time? And so I go back home occasionally, see mom, dad, and then hit the road again.
So what's
But
happening in Miami? Talk to us about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Is this one of the first events?
this is the third year we're doing it.
Oh, it's the third year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Miami Sellers Conference. Every year we get like literally the top Amazon sellers in the game. Scott Needham, he was number 6 on Amazon at one point. Out of all the Amazon sellers, he was number 6 in revenue. Amazon Lit, I'm pretty sure they're top 100 Amazon sellers at least. I mean, they're like the biggest guys posting on social media right now regarding wholesale. We have I think we have like 14 speakers. Like our speaker lineup is insane this year. We have a bunch of people who just started Amazon in the last 12 months and who are already up to 100,000 plus in sales. And so some of those people will be speaking. We got the Buy Box Bandits. I can't even think of everyone. We got Trevin Peterson. We got private label guys, wholesale guys, online arbitrage guys. Like it is going to be a fucking show.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'm talking to my buddy. I'm really excited. If he's going, I'm going. If he doesn't go, I still might be going. So I'm super pumped, man.
Day 2 is going to
Excited
be on
about
a
this.
yacht. So day 1, you can ask
Now I gotta go, man.
you can ask people about the event. Like it's a lot of fun. So day 1 is just going to be like it's kind of like we emulate Tony Robbins. Like we don't go as crazy as Tony Robbins, but we do get people up, engaged, jumping around. And it's like these events are long, man. Like from 8 o'clock to like 5 o'clock at night. Like you got to focus, you got to take notes. So we get people up, moving. Lunch is free this year. We got some shit last year for making people pay for lunch, so it's gonna be free this year. After party is gonna be dope, but guys, don't go too hard on the after party because on Sunday we're gonna get a yacht and all drinks included, all food included on the yacht. You're gonna be able to like literally network with the top Amazon sellers in the Bay of Amazon or Bay of Amazon, Bay of Miami Bay in the sun, in the most beautiful time of year, February, and Yeah, like last year the yacht was crazy. People were going crazy on the yacht. I kind of controlled myself the whole event because I was like daddy at this event, but like I was seeing like 7-figure Amazon sellers just acting a fool out there, and so that's my goal is to act a fool at the end of day two. At the end of day
There
two,
you go.
I'm gonna get shit faced. But up until then, I have to keep everything together to make sure everything doesn't fall apart.
Okay, dude, what's like your best Amazon? Was it a book? Was it a find? Was it like? There's got to be a crazy story that you have of what you. And if
Yeah,
you don't have, if you,
I do. I have a few, but to date, the best single item I've sold was a Jewish set. So I was at this library sale, and it was like if you've ever been to a library sale, booksalefinder.com is great to find library sales. If you've ever been to a library sale, like everybody goes crazy for like the first hour, and then everyone leaves. It's like a class of kids. When the test is over, all the kids get up at the same time. You ever seen this? Like when you're taking a test, everybody just gets up at the same time and finishes.
yep.
It's like the same thing. During a library sale, everybody's done. And so everybody was like done, and I went and I looked at this giant set of books that didn't have a barcode. It was a Jewish set, and it was like a 5 million sales rank, and it was selling for $1,300 at the time. I FBA'd it. There was no FBA offers, so I shipped it to FBA, and it sold for $2,000 like a few months later. And
Oh wow.
yeah, so that was my biggest flip, singular flip to date. I'm sure that, I mean, I've sold some stuff last year I did like 40,000 in one day in chlorine. I sold chlorine and sold
What?
40, and that was,
Like pool chlorine?
yeah, that was
What?
insane for me. Yeah. You didn't know about the shortage?
No, I heard about it. So you found some chlorine at like a sale, and you just bought a bulk.
Dude, no.
shipment
I went to Costco. I flew people all over the country to go pick up this chlorine. It was pretty crazy, and I don't know how many units I sold. Probably not even that many units. They were selling for like $200 a pop. So 40,000 divided by 200. What is that? 200 units probably is what I sold, and
Wow.
that was 40K in one day. And honestly, that's really what made me shift my attention. I still sell books. I still do well with it. I've sold over 500,000 in books this year, but just seeing like the velocity of other items, one ASIN selling 40,000 in one day, I was like, holy shit! Like, there's a lot of opportunity outside of just books, and so that's why I'm learning online arbitrage. And yeah,
That is fucking amazing, dude. I mean, there's so many like when you start to really scour Amazon, there's obviously millions of products, but sometimes you'll come across some gems where it had a high velocity and then it dropped off, and there's just no inventory. And either Amazon doesn't have it, the seller doesn't have it. There's been a run out. And the beauty of this model for you know this, everybody listening is you don't have to create a product. You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars white labeling some product in China, then worrying about getting it over here, then paying all the fees, then shipping to Amazon, then crossing your fingers and praying that, your Chinese supplier doesn't launch the same product and
yeah,
F you over, right?
yeah,
I mean, and
exactly.
trademarks, and this is you're kind of hijacking the demand for these products, textbooks and other categories that are already out there that there's demand for. Every semester there's millions of kids that go to college that need these textbooks. It's a beautiful model. I mean, I got a ton
Yeah,
of books behind me, but
there's so many things you can sell on Amazon. And yeah, you made a good point. You don't gotta wait 2-3 weeks or even months to get items from overseas. Like, yes, the profit margins look good on paper. You're paying a penny to 8 cents or something, but after the shipping fees, after waiting that long, there's so much unpredictability in what's gonna happen with the price. Like, taking advantage of selling used books and also name brand products via online arbitrage is in my opinion, is huge.
okay, I'll tell you my quick story. I know I'm interviewing you, but can I tell you a quick story? Is that okay?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay. Do you know who Dan Bilzerian is?
Yes.
Okay. You know his book, The Setup?
No, I didn't know you had a book, but
Okay. He wrote this book, and I was watching this podcast on YouTube one day, and he was promoting his book, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. But you had to go to his website to get the book. And I go, I wonder if the book's on Amazon. So I go to Amazon. Somebody's selling the book that's like $20 for
yeah,
$150, and they've got the buy box. And I went, So I was like, hey, I'm just going to drop ship this. So I undercut them $100. And then if somebody ordered, I would buy from Ignite, which is and then ship it to them. And I'm going, this is pretty cool. But what if I could like go big? So I contact Ignite and I go, hey, can I order like 1,000 copies of this book? And they go, yeah, we'll give it to you for like $15. And I go, fuck, it's like 15 grand. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. So 15 grand, wired it. They sent me this huge pallet of books. Now I'm like, okay, well, now I've got to drop the price because it's got to be, I want to do volume and not have, right? So anyway, so I did it. I ordered it. I got it. I shipped everything to Amazon and they started selling for $30 a pop. And I'm going, oh my God, 30 grand. So I go, I got to do this again. So I ordered another 1,000. So it's 60 grand. And it was great. I think I made about $15,000 after it was all said and done. And then I called them again and I go, I need 5,000 books. And they go, we're not selling to you anymore. We're doing a deal with Amazon. I went, fuck. So they went vendor. They went vendor, but I was going.
Was it like a big publishing company or was it?
No, they were selling direct. So I was like, I think the Amblesarians with Ignite. So I reached out to Ignite and I go, can I actually buy this book? Because they go, who the hell are you? You want CBD? And I go, no, I just want the book. Can I order the book from you? And they go, yeah, we'll sell the book to you. And so for people out there listening, like you don't have to invent a product. You just like, that was 15 grand and I didn't do anything. I just got some books and shipped from Amazon. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get a charger real quick. ¿Tienes cargador?
No se lo han llevado. Cargador de iPhone. Ahora te lo doy.
Sí. Gracias. She's just getting mad at me for
The
stealing.
life of Romer the Roamer in Barcelona. This is it.
Oh, yeah. You remind me of, what's that guy's name that's always smoking a cigar on Instagram? He's just giving life advice. I don't even know what the dude does. But he's always,
I started hanging out with guys that smoke cigars and are rich and don't work, and now I've got a bad habit.
it's definitely like a cool thing to do. Like it makes you look cool. Bring that on the yacht.
I just love cigars. I'll bring some. I'll definitely bring some good cigars.
Oh, yeah, I'll smoke some with you.
That'd be cool.
Do you inhale?
I'm sorry.
Do you inhale
No, I mostly puff on it. I try not to inhale if I don't have to. But I can smoke at my office. That's what's cool about this place I have.
Nice.
So, dude, is there anything else? Any other bombs you want to drop? I know we've got like 5 or 6 minutes left.
I would just say like, there's a lot of people out there who are scared to get started and they don't think this is real, and it's absolutely fucking real. Like there's so many people doing this, and just find somebody that you like, find somebody that you actually like as a person who's doing big numbers, and follow their stuff, emulate what they're doing, literally just do what they're doing, and you'll see the same success. That's like a very basic level of how to actually get started.
Follow Romer the Roamer, set up your Amazon professional seller account, probably set up, an LLC with an EIN so you can
why
be
not?
Official.
Get
right?
Like if that's what makes it official, do it. If that mentally makes you say I'm now in business, fucking do it. I used to say,
but keep track of your expenses, right?
Yeah, and it's just limited liability corporation. It separates you in case you ever get sued or something. It's not on you; it's on the company. And so, but yeah, there's not a huge barrier to entry to get in this business.
Yeah, it's a great business. It's real money. One last thing I want to ask you: Amazon losing your inventory. How do you deal with it? What do you like? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways Amazon can lose your inventory. They can lose your inventory in the check-in process. And so what I recommend there is open a case. And if you have invoices, this is a good thing about online arbitrage or wholesale. Upload the invoices and they'll pay you. This is something that's really easy to do. You should always check for inbound shipping discrepancies. Number two, shit just happens. Items get lost in the warehouse. I don't even really look that deep into it. So I recommend some type of refund software. I've used Refunds Manager. They were all right. I used Jetita. They were also pretty good. So either of those I recommend. We're trying to get actually, I haven't even asked Refunds Manager to sponsor, but Jetita's talking about sponsoring Miami 2023. But I mean, like, you should just have a refund service software working on the back end, because as time goes on, the opportunity to get reimbursed from Amazon goes away, because they have a policy that after a certain number of days, you can't get money back. So hop on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Getita, and I'm not plugging them by any means.
That's how you say it, Getita. I was
Getita.
Getita.
We're saying the same thing. They're great. And they go, we don't charge you anything. And if we do recover something for you on a lost shipment or whatever, we just take half. And I'm going, I think that's fair because I wouldn't have found it anyway. And it's
Yeah,
automated.
I think
so,
they take like 30%. Do they take half?
oh, did it go down? I think it depends on how
Okay.
much volume you have, but
I thought it was 30,
was like-
but maybe it's half. Either way, it's like,
either way.
you know, I'm not going to build a bunch of systems to find lost inventory. Like, I'm just going to focus on systems to find more profitable inventory.
That's it. Okay, and I know that I said that was my last question, but I got one more for you.
Yep.
Do you think that this model, with what you're doing, you could, hire people to go scour for you, or
100%.
tell people at thrift stores, hey, if you get any textbooks, like call me and I'll cut you in?
Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do, man. Like, if you look at the top Amazon sellers, give me 1 second. I'm going to plug this in so my phone doesn't
Yeah.
die. Boom, and we're good to go. So,
Nice.
from like, if you zoom all the way out, the top Amazon sellers, like, at one point, I think it was like 2 out of the top 10 Amazon sellers were booksellers, and I'm pretty sure it's still like that. Like, the Amazon sellers are always changing who's on top, but like, if you want to go big in the book business, you can. It's going to be a different book business than small, obviously. On the small side, you have cherry picking. On the big side, you have bulk, and you have that. So, can you systematize it and make a business that, you know, runs while you're doing something like this? Like, I'm in Spain right now, and my business is running back home. You absolutely can. How would you do that? You can get scouters, like you said. That's a hard thing to scale, but it's certainly very lucrative at the beginning. I know a guy who sourced 40,000 books, paying somebody else $1 per book that they found, paying like a kid, $1 per book that they found. He sourced 40,000 books over the course of 2 years. Now, he probably made at least $4 profit off of each book. This dude made, what is that, 160 grand in 2 years, not even doing anything, just having somebody else go get books for him, you know? So
It's a great business.
so
Yeah.
that's like a small scale how to delegate it. But I mean, I have a friend in San Diego who does like around 750,000 a year in books, pretty healthy margin, and he works with libraries. He gets them on consignment. He gets their books. He has somebody pick up all the books once a week, drop them off. Like, this is a real business. You know, most people, when they talk about books, they talk about cherry picking books, but you can also put systems in place to scale it to the next level. And so, 100%.
I love it, man. Scalability, more profits, more books.
Yeah.
Romer the Roamer, everybody. Where can people find out more? Where do you want them to find you, brother?
Wherever, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, I'm all over the place. TikTok, I'm out there.
Awesome.
Miami
Well,
Sellers
thanks, man.
Conference.
Appreciate you doing this.
I'll see you
There it is. I'll be
everywhere.
there. All right, man.
Sweet. Hell yeah. I'll see you, brother.